23:2, it says, "Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil." Man, you niggas ain't supposed to be nowhere near these protests, these riots. All right, but you got Jake all in the midst of them, all in the midst of these protests, just straight up folly, man. All right, this is all wicked, man. We ain't got nothing to do with this so-called conflict that's going on between these two parties, I should say. All right, we're pro Yahweh Shemel Shah, like the elder said, man. We ain't got nothing to do with these damn protests and riots out here in the streets. All right. Exodus 23:2, it says, "Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment." All right. So you Jakes, you ain't got no business being out there, man. All right. But you're gonna have to learn the hard way. But anyway, getting back to my point. All right, it says, just reading on this article here, it says, at least 7,000 pro-Palestinian protesters shut down the Brooklyn Bridge. All right, and we know that this is all orchestrated. It's all set up. Okay, 7,000 pro-Palestinian protesters shut down Brooklyn Bridge during a march through the borough Saturday, openly cheering Hamas terrorists' barbaric attacks on you-know-who, and justifying the murders of innocent mothers and babies. And that's the narrative, babies' heads getting cut off, innocent families being gunned down, right? That's what's being pushed all in the media right now, that's playing on people's emotions, that's getting these people charged up, all right? Because we are in the time of what? Of war, right? It says, quote, freedom by any means, land back by any means, declared Dorian, a 24-year-old protester from Queens. All right, so I'm pretty sure this is Dorian right here, this goofball nigga right here. Right? It says, declared Dorian, a 24-year-old protester from Queens, during the 3-mile flood Brooklyn for Gaza march, which began at 3 p.m. in front of the Brooklyn Museum in Crown Heights, not far from the Hasidic Lubavitcher headquarters on Eastern Parkway, where a Sabbath festival was being held. All right. It says, I believe that the settler state of Israel must be taken down, he said. There you go. All right. And this is what they're going to play off of, this type of talk here. So we already know what's getting ready to happen here. It says the demonstrators holding signs with anti-you-know-what slogans. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. F the small hat, right? Justice Palestine, headed north along Flatbush Avenue to the Barclays Center, and then converged on the Brooklyn Bridge, stopping traffic on the Manhattan-bound side around 6 p.m. as some scaled metal barriers and triumphantly waved Palestinian flags. All right, so you see what's going on. All right, as I said, the setup is in full motion. All right, and you can read the rest of this on your own. I'll post it in the description. So let's get back to the point here. All right.
Shalom. First thing and foremost, when I give all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kakadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Rulewell. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the spirit, kind of land backing on what the brother said. It's the brother Ashiar from the GMS Charlotte camp. And he was making important mention of you, Jakes, getting involved in these protests, in these set up riots and skirmishes that have been pretty much perpetuated through agent provocateurs, or what you would consider paid agitators, which is pretty much the example or the definition of the first, which is the agent provocateurs. You have a lot of pro-Palestinian and anti-Israeli protests happening right here in America, Babylon the Great, to pretty much weed out the problems of what they would consider anti-S. Okay, people speaking against the narratives of Esau's global elite, which is pretty much on a chopping block. They're being exposed because throughout all these protests, even if a lot of them are paid agitators, you do have sincere people that's part of these particular protests that really feel some type of way about the state of Israel because of the affliction and the abuse and the oppression, which is, I guess, is their right. But regardless of that, nobody has more right than the Negro, Latino, and Native American. But the brother, he touched on a very important part of mentioning you, Jakes. And the reason why I'm doing this particular video and using this as reference because it says 7,000 pro-Palestinian protesters take over Brooklyn Bridge, call for elimination of the you-know-what by any means. Now, when you look at that, that's basically screaming genocide, okay, which is the justification for government authorities like CIA, FBI, and these men to take rather positioning to eliminate the opposing force because this appears that these people are very well being persecuted, and we clearly know that's not the case. Okay, how can a group of people that have immunity from almost every crime, okay, that's a protected class, that has all the banks, that owns the world, that own 99% of the world's wealth, how can they be persecuted or any type of state of oppression when in fact everything that they own is through their own wickedness? Federal Reserve, the birth certificate, child support, taxes, the child support, they own every goddamn thing. Okay. Now, what's so crazy about this, and the reason why I'm getting is because this video here, which is Wi-Fi Chicago, the Palestinians rage outbreak. Now, I saw a video, which I'm going to play of these men getting into a brawl. Okay. And then again, I don't know if I guess I could play the video. I guess I can play the video. That's if, they don't take them down whatsoever. But the fact about it is these men of the Wi-Fi sect of Israelites, which we know about them guys, man. My thing is they get into a brawl with these Palestinian cats out there in Chicago. And this is what I'm saying. You got a lot of clout chasing Jakes, and then you also have a lot of men that set up to blame the ministry. Because I know when, for one thing, let's just say if I had a camp of 20, 30 men, and yet you have thousands of protesters in the streets and we're out there prophesying, how can our word and our message get across to people if they're protesting and fighting and rioting? How can what we say have a stand on our people? It can't, okay? And the fact about it is you're just going to be part of the protest. And this video showed that. You see what I'm saying? And this is why we say that you got men out there that's doing shit for clout, and then you got men that's set up as agents. And I clearly believe the both. Okay, men are going down to these protests. For one thing, that has nothing to do with you. Okay, why didn't you just pack up camp and go down the street or around the block or, somewhere in the city and prophesy of your own accord? Well, why would you be down there in the midst of a heathenistic protest that has nothing to do with you? Like I said, agent vibes, man. Okay, Jake is doing a lot of uncircumspect shit. And the times we getting ready to go into, Then they call themselves servants of the Lord. But we're going to see how much the Lord is going to vindicate you when the Most High allows Esau to come after us, man. We're going to see how much of the men of the Lord you are when this devil comes down with great wrath, man, since you want to play that tough role. All right, so this is the video here. Now, before I play it, Slakia, now look what it says. It says, Black Hebrew Israelites fight with Palestinians yesterday in Chicago, okay? Now, these was the small headers. They would have instantly banned this thing. But peep this. Now, we know Israelites that wear things like that wear what they call shawarmers, or these shawarmy scarves, basically what they wear over there in Saudi Arabia. This is basically Ishmael's so-called turban, or the vision of a headscarf, which they call them towel heads. Okay, now look at this. But yet you got this Hebrew Israelite group that's down there in the midst of these protests, which is stupid in my opinion. Like, why would you be down there knowing that this can possibly happen and knowing that you could be lumped up in these protests, man? Look at this. They're out there brawling with them. See, totally uncircumspect, man. And then black Hebrew Israelites to protest. Like, that's totally uncircumspect, you know? So I don't know, man. But I got a couple of precepts real quick. This is the book of Proverbs 22. My thing is, and then they lucky they didn't get hurt because it's only a handful of you brothers down there, but yet it's thousands of them. Like the brother said, hey, man, they showed an exceptional amount of mercy because y'all could have got fucked up down there. And the fact that y'all are down there, why are y'all that? This is the same thing that what's that guy was the army, not army of Israel. It was what's this guy's name, Chief Ephraim, I believe, during the time of that fake that alleged January 6th ordeal, that alleged Trump was behind this insurrection, which is what was staged anyway. But you had them not Wi-Fi, but you had Chief Ephraim and all these guys go down there, the pull-up boys, to pull up on a fucking national so-called protest, knowing that you're going to be knowing that you're going to be implicated in these particular endeavors, man. Which you're bringing blame to the ministry because Esau is not going to single it out and say, well, those are Wi-Fi, this is Sakari, that's IUIC, this ISUPK, this Great Millstone. No, he's not going to do that, man. Okay? It's time for you tribes to start thinking and putting on your fucking thinking caps for real. Just doing too much, man. And this is what I'm saying. Jake just do too fucking much, man. Jake just can never play their part and just do what the hell they supposed to do. All right? Niggas always want to be goddamn extra all the fucking time. Just sit back and do what you're supposed to do and make it smooth. It make the whole operation run smoother. But of course, you always gonna have knuckleheads. For instance, these guys that's in the midst of shit, doing too much. You know, what are you down there for anyway? They're protesting the shit that's happening to them. They ain't got nothing to do with you. You think you getting ready to call Jake out of them protests, man? You got a whole city you can go out and speak and reach people, but yeah, you want to go down there, you know, and wonder why we say that a lot of you guys sold out. But it says a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hiding himself, but the simple passed on and unpunished, man. Okay, these guys are simple as hell. Okay, because clearly they're not foreseeing the evil because they know and they should know half a brain. Look, they should have half a brain or at least some type of judgment in their mind to say, you know what, they're using these particular protesters to come against the truth in some form or fashion or lump everybody under the umbrella of the big T word. You would think a man would see that. You would think he would sit back and think, okay, well, that's not wise for me to go down there because I'm not trying to get us implicated or indicated in anything. But Jake don't think like that. But instead, they want to be the next Israelite celebrity. We want the next Israelite reality show. We want the followers of Israel. We want to be the top guys. And they result to doing things that's not circumspect in the spirit. And then before you know it, they getting jacked up, man, by the Most High. That's why it says the prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. Like in our camp spot, if they want to protest over that spot, let them have it. We go somewhere else and teach. Okay, it ain't that deep. It's just a damn corner, man. You know, we're just out there speaking to reach the elect. Okay, we're not trying to reach these fucking Palestinian people, man. And we ain't trying to reach you Amalekites. We're not trying to reach any of them because as far as we're concerned, they both had a hand in our downfall. So what are we down there for? Trying to be seen, trying to be important, trying to feel, and it's all out of pride, man. You know, all about clout. And majority of these guys in these different groups, they don't know what they're part of, man. They don't consider the fact and they haven't counted the cost. They just think it's cool to be out there yelling Bible scriptures with their t-shirt fringes on. All because a sister say shalom, brother, or one of these guys out here, oh man, brother, you know, you inspire me. It's stupid, man. But it says, but the simple passed on and are punished, man. Okay, and they simple as all hell. And they're gonna be punished because hey, you gotta keep that same energy when Yahweh Shai decides to come down with great wrath. And he's gonna use the very men that you're claiming to get your to be against to come down and roll on you, man. You know? This is the book of Matthew's 10, and I'm gonna start at verses 16. It says, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves, man. Be wise. Okay? Be wise in the regard that you don't have to go out and be a brawler, man. Last thing you want to do is go out there and get into a brawl and implicate yourself in some type of court case, man, where you don't have to be. It's already bad enough or hard enough that you got to go out there, you speaking. And I'm surprised they even out there still. It's cold. And that proves right there that Jake is all about the clout because We the only camp, us and probably Zabak, that may go out in the wintertime or when it's 40 degrees outside, man. You ain't gonna see these other groups out there. We out there, but they not gonna be out there. Why? Because they're not serious about the work of the Heavenly Father. Okay, see, they only show up at events like this when they can get their names out there, and gather a following, man. That's why the Lord said, hey, behold of my people, they're wicked men. It's wicked men, man. Okay, but what Yahweh Shai say? It says, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. So be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves, man. Be circumspect. Okay, be circumspect. Why would you want to bring more and more turmoil to your plot or to your ordeal than what you have to do? Because then you got a whole other problem, because if Esau decides to spin that narrative and say, oh, those guys were X, Y, and Z, they incited it, because those Palestinians are going to blame it on you. And no matter what, they're going to take their words over yours because of the fact you are Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Okay, the whole point is to get you and to implicate you. You're the reason why this whole world is falling. And you have to be implicated in that. And you're doing just that. You're playing right into the role of the serpent, man. And some of the leaders of these groups, they know that. Go down there to the protests and go out there and teach. Like me personally, man, and if I'm off, Salakia. I was stand on that and say it. But I think that guy Naquam, I think he's set up. I really believe. I don't know, man. It's something about him that I don't really trust. You know what I'm saying? I think, and that's just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong about it. But either way it go, he's not coming in the right spirit. Okay, because if you over these guys, you're supposed to tell them guys, look, man, stay away from that shit. That has nothing to do with you. But it says, but behold, beware of men, for they should deliver you up to councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues, and you should be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. And I guarantee you that when you guys get caught up in these situations, because this just doesn't extend to us. This extends to all you men out there that's teaching. When you get caught up in these ordeals, Yahweh Bashim Hashai is not going to come to you. He's not going to come to your defense. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to come to your defense nor your aid, because you're not taking heed. And then you want to say people are punking out because they're not down there. What do we need to be down there brawling with 1,000 people for that can possibly get ourselves in some shit and get hurt? You know what I'm saying? Then motherfucker get killed down there. And then what you gonna tell the people? What you gonna tell Esau? Jake better start using their heads, man. All right, 2 Corinthians. I'm gonna end it after this. This is the book of 2 Corinthians. Let's start at 1. It says, we then, as workers together with him, beseech ye that you also receive not the grace of the Most High in vain. All right, and these guys they beyond the grace, but yet these guys are perpetuating vanity, man. Because they're not using this grace period to actually serve the Lord, but to serve their own belly and their own platform. And that's what I get from a lot of these groups, man. It says, for ye have said, I've heard thee in the time accepted, and in the day of salvation have I secured thee, which succor goes into help. But behold, now is the acceptable time, and behold, now this day of salvation. Give ye no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed, man. Okay? Be not blamed. And the way you going to get the ministry blamed, to the point they rolling on everybody. They ain't trying to hear that shit. But it says, but in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, in much patience and afflictions and necessities and distresses and stripes and imprisonments and tumults and labors and watchings and fastings, by pureness, by knowledge, by long sufferings, by kindness, by the Holy Ghost, and by love unfeigned, by the word of truth, by the power of Yahweh, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left, by honor and dishonor, by evil report and good report, as deceivers, yet true. Okay, it says good report, and this is not a good report. Doing too damn much just because. So anyway, I lost my train of thought. But I guess that's pretty much it, giving all praises and glory. Yeah, matter of fact, it says in imprisonment, yeah, you're going to have brothers that's going to go to jail for this too, but they're not provoking situations. Now, they may have provoked y'all. They may have done something. They may have attacked you first. But see, if you wasn't down there, you wouldn't have to worry about that. Especially when you coming on their self-inflicted wound of their protests. They're going to say, well, look, You and inciting riots on our shit. This is our time to protest. What are y'all down here with this message for? We don't care about that. See, they already called you Black Hebrew Israelites. That's already a strike against you. Stupid. But anyway, I'm gonna end it there. All praises and glory, honor that's due to Yahweh, Shemi Shai, and with that, Shalom, Shalom.